Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Professor of Pips once again. And in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you one of the simple strategies that we use in the Forex market. And this strategy is nothing but simple support and resistance strategy. This video is basically for beginners trader who are just coming into the Forex markets, and probably you don't really know much. Of course, as a beginner, you don't really know much. You just want to delve yourself into the market. And in today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you how to plot your support and resistance area. And before I proceed, I would like to give you a brief illustration of how support and resistance plays out. When we say support and resistance, support is just like a zone where price is finding it difficult to break below, while resistance is a point in price where price is finding it difficult to break above. So basically, support is acting as a floor for price, while resistance is acting as a ceiling for price. So I'll be showing you that on our charts. So let's just delve into the video and just go straight to the point. So now on my screen here, this is my trading view plan and analyze their charts. So now, as you can see here on my charts, so as you can see here on my chart, let me give you a simple illustration before I give you a live example. I said support is a point in price where price is finding it difficult to break above or below. So basically, with this illustration, I believe you are going to understand what I'm talking about. So this diagram that I just drew, let's assume is the movement of price. This low here that price has been coming for multiple times, we can call this point a support. And then this point at the top is acting as a resistance. So let me denote that for proper understanding. So we have here as resistance. And then we have here as our support. It's simple, right? Very simple. Very simple. This is just like a simple strategy that even most traders use to capitalize on in the Forex market. So, and what you want to be doing at the support area is you are expecting price to turn at that point. You are expecting price to turn at that point. So when price comes to your support area, you only want to be looking for buying opportunity, because we buy when we are anticipating the market wants to push up, and then we sell when we anticipate that market wants to push down. So let me also denote this for a better representation. So we sell at resistance. When price comes to your resistance zone, you only want to be selling. And then when it comes to your support zone, you buy at support. So when price comes to your support level, you only want to be buying. And when price comes to your resistance zone, you want to be selling. But then you don't just sell or buy on without no other additional confluences. What I mean by additional confluence is that you want to look out for some candlestick to print to you for you to be well convinced that, okay, now we can write this market down. Okay, now we can write this market up. So now this is just the basic explanation of support and resistance. And now, as I have shown you here, I'm going to move to the live charts to also show you how to plot this your level. Now, you need to train your eye on how to identify these levels, because now let me switch here. Now, switching to this place, you want to train your eye to be able to identify your support zone and your resistance zone. Now, from this chart in front of me here, we can see, we can just take our rectangle tools, plot from this level, and you want to extend to the future, because you don't just draw it this way and leave it like that. No, you want to extend it to the future, hoping that peradventure price can still come back to that zone and then react on that particular place. So you want to extend it to the future. You want to extend it to the future. So now, prior before this time, let's say all these data here, they are not here before. We only have this. We only have this. And we have this. So now we've marked out here as our support area. So we mark out this place as our support area. And as well, you can also see the top here. You want to be able to identify with just your bare eye. With just your bare eye, you want to be able to identify the places where price is finding it difficult. So also here, to copy this now, you can see now here, price pushes up from this zone here, pushes up and then come back down to that support, push back up again to that point. So this here, for price rejecting at this zone, is telling you that this zone is also standing as a resistance zone. So this point is standing as a resistance. As a resistance, price pushes the first time, and then we see how price went. It fell. It came there for the second time. Sorry. Price came here for the second time. It dropped. And again, it came for the third time as well. And then we drop. So for simple support and resistance strategy, if you buy at support, your stop loss will be below this structure, and then your take profit, that is where you are anticipating price to get to, will be the next resistance zone. And if you are doing the otherwise, if you are selling from a point of resistance, you are projecting that price will eventually head to the next support zone. Whereas you sell from here and then you anticipate that price is coming back to the initial support level. And then when price also comes to the initial support level, it will still show you some momentum that price is likely to push back up again. You also want to buy from support. Don't forget what I said before from the beginning of this video. I said buy at support and you sell at resistance. You don't sell at support and you don't buy at resistance. You only buy at support and sell at resistance. The only reason that can make you to buy at support, if it at resistance rather, is if this resistance gets broken. Let's say we have scenario like this. Maybe for this that's dropped down, let's assume this does not drop down. The price pushes up, which invalidates this resistance zone. You know, once price break here, this place is no longer a resistance. And then we will say that our resistance has now turned to support. So what you just want to wait is for price to come back to retest on that zone. Because when price break out, you don't just want to buy immediately. the market might be tricking you, thinking it wants to buy. So you just want to wait for price to come back to that initial resistance, which already now turned to support before you now buy. I said you don't buy at resistance unless this scenario that I just did here occur. And you don't sell at support unless it got broken. Now we have a very good example of how you can sell at support. You can see here, this support got broken here, and then the market went back up again to test that support level, and we can see the market drop. So when price breaks down a support, you want to wait for a retest before you can sell as support. But if this does not happen, you only buy at support and you sell at resistance. You only buy at support and you sell at resistance. So that is just the simple way to analyze your support and resistance strategy. It is a very simple strategy. It is easy to understand. You can use it to make a whole lot of money. And note that support and resistance cannot be used alone, because you don't just want to wait for price to come to your support, and when price now comes to your support, you start buying immediately. No, if you are doing that, you are not a good trader yet. You want to add some other conditions to be met before you take your trade. Number one, you want to wait for your candlestick to form or some patterns. As we move on, I will also be making series of videos on how you can add multiple conferences before you can take a trade decision. So when price comes at your support, there are some certain candlesticks that you want to see before you start buying. And when price comes to your resistance area, there are some certain candlesticks you want to see before you start selling. So I believe you must have learned one or two in this video. And if you enjoyed my content, I want you to click on the subscribe button, turn on post notification, like this video, and comment below. Because there's nothing more that can actually motivate me to make more videos rather than you liking, commenting, and subscribing to this channel, as this will give me the urgency to also do more. So see you on the next one. Peace out.